Welcome to the Codima tutorial for the VoIP Readiness Toolbox. This tutorial will cover the range of tools included in this toolbox, providing a description of each tool in turn. I'm going to start with the core tool for this toolbox, which is the VoIP Pre-Deployment Assessment tool. The tool is used on the live network to check if it will be able to handle the planned phone deployment. You can use it to test the different network paths that the voice traffic will use. It allows you to gradually increase the phone loading levels while monitoring the quality of service. You could, for example, start with loading levels equivalent to 10 phones making continuous calls and increment gradually in 20 steps, 10 phones at a time, until you have loading levels equivalent to 200 phones continuously making calls. The stress testing can also be configured to use different test patterns. For example, you could use two different codecs at the same time. This allows the effect of different packet sizes associated with the different codecs to be examined in a single test. Alternatively, you can apply the test to two different diffserv values at the same time, allowing you to send out frames with priority settings for VoIP and non-VoIP loading. This becomes useful if you are using the tool on a greenfield site, for example. When stress testing paths, the star topology I've just shown you is not the only option. You can deploy the tool so that it runs the tests peer-to-peer as well. The stress testing operates full duplex, testing the upstream and downstream paths. The end result of using this tool is the production of a 7-day report that will confirm your network can handle the planned phone loading deployment, or it will highlight the level of phone loading where the quality of service becomes unacceptable. This report provides a breakdown hour by hour against the phone loading levels over the 7-day period. It can be used to help justify, for example, any extra expenditure needed to deliver the planned phone deployment, for example, increasing the bandwidth or purchasing new switches and routers that are capable of handling the quasi-engineering needed to properly prioritize your VoIP traffic. For detailed information on this tool, you should refer to the How to Stress Test Networks Pre-Deployment tutorial. The next tool I'm going to cover is the Asset Inventory and Reports tool, which is designed to provide an accurate IT asset inventory using current network asset information obtained directly from the network devices. I'm going to be showing you some examples of these asset reports. Here is an example of the HTML report that is output by this tool. You can see it presents information by vendor and by type. This particular report has a number of different device types, and I'll just quickly take you through some of the reports on display for these types. For example, it is broken down by routers. You can see there's two routers. By servers, there's two server reports there. By switch, there are two switch reports. By VoIP phone, there's a report for a single VoIP phone. And there's also reports for workstations, and we have a range of workstations here, and I'm just selecting one of them to display the report. The type tree branches will directly reflect the different types of devices found during the discovery process. There is also a range of advanced reports. To obtain more in-depth information on the reports available, you should listen to the tutorial covering how to create an asset inventory. I'm now going to cover the mapping tool and the visualization in Visio tool. They provide the user with facilities for obtaining an understanding of the network structure, showing the network topology. The mapping tool obtains information on the devices on the network and how they are connected. That information is stored to an SQL database and used to automatically plot the devices in the Visio drawings. You can see from the display here that a drawing has been produced and the Visio facilities are built into the toolbox. The key Visio facilities that we're making use of are pan and zoom and shape data. And you can see here the pan and zoom facility in action as we zoom in on a selected device. You're also able to, because of the embedded Visio facility, very easily change the way the display looks. I'm just changing it here from a spoked wheel to a tree view. And you can also see here that if you place your cursor over a device or a line, you will have a tooltip describing that device or the line. Another useful feature is that the topology drawings produced in Visio and the asset information can be exported to HTML files, allowing you to provide this information to a wider audience. Here is an example of a web page where we've saved several drawings. You can select a device in the drawing and view the matching shape data information, which contains the asset description, and you can also use the pan and zoom facility. And you can select the different drawings that are available by using the list box. Here, for example, is a drawing covering the subnet topology. For more information on the mapping tool, you should review the tutorials that cover how to start discovery and automatically produce topology drawings in Visio, and also how to customize Visio views. The next tool I will cover is the multi-site scheduler tool. This tool provides a means of managing network discoveries across multiple sites. The discovery process can either be run over a VPN connection, or you can have the mapping tool deployed on the remote network. The multi-site scheduler would then be configured to automate the required discovery runs at scheduled times. Each network would have its own MySQL database to store the discovery results, and the drawings and asset reports would be automatically saved to a web server for client access. The next tool I'm going to cover is the IP pinging tool, which provides a means of checking whether or not devices are operational and also monitoring response times. The IP pinger results are tracked historically and reports can be produced. There's also an alarm system that can send SNMP traps, notification emails and SMS text messages when you have persistent pinger failure. I will elaborate on the alarm system a little later in this tutorial. The IP pinging tool also seamlessly integrates with the visualization in Visio tool. As you can see here, we have the display showing the devices that are successfully responding to pings. If a device fails to respond to a ping, then it will be shown with a red down arrow. Having this information in a Visio drawing that is hierarchical allows you to easily spot the root cause of the ping failure. For additional information on the IP pinging tool, there is a tutorial titled How to Use IP Pinging Tool. And now I'm going to briefly cover the global alarm system. This tool is designed to provide notification emails or SMS text messages or SNMP traps when alarm conditions occur. These alarm conditions can apply to ping failures, or they can apply to statistical threshold breaches. The toolbox also has its own email client, and for additional information on this and how to use the global alarm system in general, you can review the How to Use Codima Toolbox Alarm System tutorial. And next I'm going to cover two tools, the protocol analysis tool and the passive analysis tool. To use these specific tools, the toolbox has to be deployed so that it can monitor the relevant traffic flow, which would involve connecting the toolbox to a mirror port or a tap. The protocol analysis tool is designed to capture and decode frames online. You can see the decode in operation here. And when you stop capture, you can get a more detailed breakdown of the frame decode. You also have post and pre-capture filtering capabilities and a protocol expert system. For more in-depth information on the protocol analysis tool, you can refer to the How to Capture Frames and Apply Filters tutorial. The passive analysis tool incorporates a number of features, the main one being the live views that will enable the user to view network traffic trends and troubleshoot. These live views will apply to the segment you are monitoring and also individual devices on that segment. More in-depth information on the passive analysis tool is provided in the How to View Live Traffic Trends tutorial. The next tool I will cover is the Reports Manager tool, which provides facilities to schedule on a daily, weekly or monthly basis a series of predefined statistical reports as Word documents, and also facilities to instantly create reports as HTML pages. These reports provide you with a means of answering a wide range of questions on the trends associated with the traffic on your network. For example, you can establish who is using the most bandwidth, who's sending ICMP, who's browsing the web the most, which protocols or applications are using the most bandwidth, what priority ranges are being used on the network. This becomes a very valuable tool for both trend analysis and troubleshooting. For more detailed information, you can refer to the Reports Manager tool Overview and Applications tutorial. And the last tool I will cover in this toolbox is the Remote Manager tool. This tool provides the capability of remotely controlling and viewing other toolboxes. For example, it can be used in conjunction with probes to extend the domain monitored by the passive analysis tool. And that completes the tutorial for the VoIP Readiness Toolbox. Thank you for listening to this tutorial.